Greetings from Tokyo. This is Daisuke, and I hope all of you are having a lovely day today, my friends. I'd like to do something a little bit different today, which is this. I would like to use this opportunity, starting with this video, to talk to you over the course of this year about the titles that I receive from the Criterion collection. So as some of you may know, I am a fan of the Criterion collection. And part of that means I usually pre-order the new releases from the Criterion collection as they come out. And I usually make my purchases online. They take some time to get here because it takes maybe a little bit longer than usual to have a package shipped from the United States and arrive here in Tokyo. So I get them a little bit later than the release date of these titles. But when I do, I will try to watch them as soon as I can. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk to you, starting with this video, about the new releases from the Criterion collection as I get them. So today, my friends, I'd like to talk to you about this release, which I received only yesterday, and I've already gone through, I've seen the film twice already because I've been mesmerized by this. I've been mesmerized, or it's mesmeric, one of the two, I forget which, but it is wow, what a film. My first time seeing it, and I'm very proud to have this one. Spy number 955, Panique. Let me make one quick post-production edit here. After I finished shooting the video, I realized that I forgot to say one thing, which is very important. So let me say it now to you, which is I'm going to be over the details of Panique. I won't be talking about spoilers with respect to the film, because I don't want to spoil this film, so don't worry about that. And I don't go into details too much about the supplements, but I do talk about them, and I do give some details away. So if you are wary about hearing anything at all about any of the supplements, and I know some of you are, I encourage you not to go any further with this video, but stop this video and get this Blu-ray and discover it for yourself to see what it lies in store for you, which is absolutely fantastic. So this is for those of you who are wary of listening to any detail about anything with respect to supplements on new releases. I don't want to spoil it for any of you. So if you are one of those people, please, with respect and love, I ask that you turn off this video and then come back to it after you have explored the Blu-ray presentation for yourself. For those of you who want to hear more about the supplements and the special features, please enjoy the rest of this video. So this is just an overview of this new release, so I'm not going to be talking about any plot spoilers because I don't want to spoil this. But this film, as I say, was a first-time watch for me from the filmmaker Julien Duvivier from 1946. It is a very quick film. It is 98 minutes according to the back, so it goes by very quickly. Starring Michel Simon. It is a it is like a, oh gosh, it's like a mystery thriller, film noir, neorealism, sort of a social critique, and it is an artfully photographed, beautifully shot, well staged, very suspenseful, funny and tragic, and quite a dazzling film. So I was stunned. I wasn't actually expecting it to be this good. but it was excellent. Excellent. And so this is the film Panique. And it is a French film, so it is all in French, and you have subtitles. And this is very interesting too, because this goes into the supplements of this film. So first of all, let's just take a look here at this lovely cover. So here's Panique, and this is the Blu-ray. So we'll take a look at the back right here. And so there's no commentary, but there are some really exciting special features here. But first of all, before I go into that, let's open the back here. And there's the disc, and inside we have it's not a booklet, but it's one of these fold-out posters. And you have the poster art, which is on display here. And you've got this idea of the crowd, which is a very important, prominent theme in this film. And then you have the back, which sets forth not one, but two essays. So the first essay is called Panic Attack by James Quant. And the second essay is The Underside of the Stone, De Vivier and Panique. So these two essays, I think, are quite good. The first one, Panic Attack, is the longer of the two, but it goes through the work of Georges Simenon's Miserier's Engagement, and it goes through certain similarities and differences between the underlying source novel and the Duvivier film, and also talks about that in particular in the context of the main character, Monsieur Ire, who is played by Michel Simon. And so those, I think, are really important details to point out, because it shows, I think, not only the strength of the film narrative, but also the qualities of Duvivier as a storyteller. So this is a fascinating essay called Panic Attack. And the second essay, which is The Underside of the Stone, goes into more about Duvivier and his history, and talking about his filmography and how Panique fits into that filmography. Fascinating read, both of them. So there's that, and let's go into the special features here. So the special features are, this is a new 2K digital restoration. This is a new 2K digital restoration, and the image quality is sublime, and the sound quality is superb. But going to the supplements, this is very interesting. So the first supplement that we have is a documentary called The Art of Subtitling, by which is Bruce Goldstein, who is the founder and co-president of Rialto Pictures. It's basically a one-on-one interview talking about subtitling and the idea of the art of subtitling pictures that are not in the English language. So they are in a language other than English. So therefore, subtitles in English are required usually. And he talks about the art that is the subtitle. And I never really thought about this before, but he talks about how subtitles need to be accurate, but on the other hand, they have to be short and they have to fit within a certain space. And so sometimes you can't always translate everything word for word, because that means that the subtitle space would grow and grow, and therefore that would block certain images of the film. And the idea that good subtitles are always, no one remembers the good subtitles, but people always remember the bad subtitles. Just real fantastic insights into this idea of subtitling, which I never really even thought about until I saw this documentary. And it's a short documentary, but I love it too, because it talks about a lot of these issues of subtitling in the context of this film, Panique. So a really worthwhile supplement, one of the surprisingly good supplements. I didn't realize how much I would enjoy it, but I did very much. So that's Bruce Goldstein. Incidentally, the connection with Rialto Pictures, I think, is very significant here, because as you know, Criterion and Rialto had a relationship in the past, and so perhaps this film might, I don't know, signify a return to that relationship that I think we all, as Criterion fans, would be most happy about. The next supplement that I'd like to talk about is an interview with Pierre Simenon, who is the son of Georges Simenon. And Pierre Simenon gives what I think is a very candid interview. It's a one-on-one interview, and he is very well spoken. I was quite surprised how effective this interview was, because he goes into certain details surrounding his father's history with World War I, and there are some really gruesome details about the experiences that Georges Simenon had in Belgium during that conflict. Quite harrowing. And also the son talks about how the aspect of Georges Simenon's reputation and how it was tainted because of certain people accusing him of being a Nazi sympathizer, perhaps, or he was in France during the occupation, and so that suggested to many people that he was sympathizing with the Nazi movement. And so he was trying to dispel these rumors and this kind of myth about Georges Simenon. And I thought he did so in a very compelling and personal way, which was quite refreshing to hear. Of course, Pierre Simenon, I'm sure, has a natural bias, but I think it's he gives very reasonable comments here, which are incredibly poignant. And also, I should say that there is a lovely little anecdote that Pierre Simenon gives about the friendship between Georges Simenon, the novelist, and the director Alfred Hitchcock. And I won't spoil that little anecdote at the end, but watch at the very end of this interview, and it's a lovely anecdote. I love it very much. Then we have another supplement, which is the conversation from 2015 between two French film critics. So the first is Eric Libiot, and the second critic is Guillemette Odissino. And this is a really fantastic conversation. It's in French, but there are some lovely observations that these two make. In particular, I love Odissino's comment. I won't spoil the conversation because you should enjoy it for yourself. But let me just share with you just a couple things that I really found fascinating. She has this lovely statement about. She says, what does she say? She says, and I'm saying it in English, but I love Duvivier's misogyny, and she goes and talks about the female characters, the character of Alice, Viviane Romance's character in this film is a femme fatale, but it's a very complicated, nuanced performance. And so that is where Odissino is talking about when she's referring to Duvivier's misogyny. And she uses that phrase very affectionately, I should point out. So it's fascinating session. And they also talk about Michel Simon's performance here, about how he's known in his career for overacting, but here Simon gives a stellar stoic performance, and I think Odissino describes it as being monolithic, and Eric Libido describes it as being like a he says like a troglodyte. So it's a fantastic discussion between these two very intelligent French film critics. So highly recommend it. And also there's another great discussion about the comparison between this film by Duvivier and later films by Alfred Hitchcock, which was so eye-opening. I never thought about that until I saw this interview. So amazing observations. And then there is, what else? There is a trailer, which is a Rialto Pictures trailer, a re-release trailer, which is quite It's film noirish and lovely. It's a lovely eye-catching trailer, so I highly recommend that you check that out. And there is, yes, new subtitle translation and then the essays. So this is a surprise. This is, I should say, also officially a December 2018 release. But it came at the very end of December 2018, so I'm only receiving it now, which is January 2019. Let me say here that the artwork that you see here is art directors are Sarah Habibi and Eric Skillman, and illustrations Catherine Lamb and designer Eric Skillman. So well done indeed. Fantastic illustration here. Very moody, very evocative of the film. I should say also that the producer of this Blu-ray is Jason Altman. And this is a fantastic production of this Blu-ray. So congratulations, Jason Altman, and congratulations to Criterion. You know, Criterion, I love this when Criterion releases a film that I have no experience with. Criterion does have other films by Duvivier in the collection. You know, Pepe Le Moko, and also there is an Eclipse set as well. But this film, I think, of the films that I've seen by Duvivier, and I'm far from being a Duvivier expert, but this film by Duvivier, Panique, has to be, I think it's, as much as I love Pepe Le Moko, I think this tops Pepe Le Moko in my eyes, because it is so, I was so amazed at how fresh and modern the story felt as I was watching it. So incredible. Absolutely incredible. A great start for my Criterion journey in 2019. So Panique, I strongly recommend that you pick it up and take a look at it, because it will leave you speechless. And again, I won't say anything, but that ending, wow. Okay, my friends, that is my quick overview of the new release of the film Panique, which is 955, Spine 955 in the Criterion Collection. We are already closing in on Spine 1000, but in the meantime, 2019 promises to be another great year in terms of Criterion Collection releases. So won't you join me in exploring the new Criterion releases as they come during this year, 2019. I'd love to see you, my friends. And so with that in mind, let me leave you. And until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well. And please, please, please keep on watching a lot of great, great movies. Until we meet again, cheers.